Hello, sheeple. I was watching the news today, and the war in Ukraine still rages on, and they also had a little, 5 minutes on, I think it was Somalia. And do you see a connection there? I mean, I was watching when I say I'm watching the news, I'm talking about the mainstream media halls. And I want to try and give you the alternate media perspective. There's a proper, truthful way of looking at this. But either way, let's have a comparison. Let's talk about, I've written a few notes about it, which I want to read to you. So, yeah, let's talk about the war in Ukraine and our humanity, i.e., in my opinion, sheeple kind. Please someone tell me whether or not this war in Ukraine, whether it is or isn't the most stupid, blatantly obvious resource dumping, and I'll explain what that means in a bit, resource dumping, vicious, skullduggery, buggery in known history. How can we make such a humongous commitment over an alleged sovereignty battle in order to blow sheeple up and torture them over there in Ukraine when there's never been anything ever on this kind of scale to actually help those in abject poverty living disgusting, horrendous lives? We can make an absolute colossal effort and deplete enough resources to hurt half the sheeple on the planet so as to enable one asshole to fight another asshole, but we can't make anywhere near this kind of sacrifice to help, say, Somalia and multiple other nations. Can't help them get the equipment to grow food to feed their own families. Yet all the equipment and weapons in the world to Ukraine at great sacrifice to us in order to enable blood and death. This war is nothing to do with sovereignty, if that's what anybody's thinking, I assure you. Ukraine already had a puppet government under Zelensky and was owned by America, the world's just a big war machine, the new modern Rome. It's going to fall, probably take half of us, if not all of us, with them. And sovereignty only applies when the West feels like it anyway. I can't emphasize enough the gazillions of dollars to blow up sheeple, yet nothing to help people. And our efforts only stand to make life a whole lot worse. Gas and food shortages, recession, economic collapse even, and a possible World War III. We will risk it all to be dazzling, spectacular assholes, but we'll do sod all for the good of humanity. And this has all happened before, multiple times. Sheeple of Libya under, for example, sheeple of Libya under Gaddafi all had homes, they had jobs, they had healthcare that would have been far better than your healthcare, awesome healthcare. And they had a better education. And if they wanted more, they got a stipend. I think I'm pronouncing that right. A stipend is a benefit to help with a person's career. So Libyan sheeple could, even if they wanted to, they can afford to study on free handouts from their government. They could study abroad if they so desired. But like many others that were other nations that were doing well and prosperous, but were not aligned with what the big war machine USA wanted, their fate was sealed. USA and the West turned another happy, decent, prosperous country into a miserable cesspit. When will us pathetic sheeple realise that the powers dominating this world are evil, and that we must stop being tools used to further diabolical agendas? The weapons of death sent to Ukraine at our expense in order to prolong the pain of the few innocent Ukrainians that weren't or aren't Nazis. This is not about sovereignty, as I said. And of course, so they'll be hurt, a few innocent Ukrainians, Russians will be hurt, and we are beginning to feel the pain already, and it's going to get much, much worse as our economies disintegrate. This is an enormous intentional resources dump. These resources turned into weapons used for death and destruction represent millions of hours of our labour. Now, why do resources need to be dumped? Well, if us sheeple were happy, healthy, well-educated animals with integrity and time on our hands, we would recognise and challenge wrongdoing. But because we are mentally and physically sick, overworked, with no moral fibre, the powers that shouldn't be are unchallenged, and they can do anything they like. So we are overworked, and the efforts of our toil and tears produces enough resources to create a better life and a better world for everyone. Therefore, these resources must be wasted. We can't prosper and be happy. These resources have to be wasted or destroyed. In the case of Ukraine, they are also being used right now to destabilise the whole planet in order for a new world order. With modern technology, one sheeple's labour is multiplied many times. Therefore, our entire global system of production and distribution of absolutely everything, these systems have to be literally designed to waste resources. Please check out my other videos entitled Propaganda and War in Ukraine, or just Propaganda and War on TikTok, for more information, where I cover a bit more on the war in Ukraine. Anyway, I'll keep this short. The moonlight fades with the morning glow. Good night, sheeple.